Hi everyone, welcome back to my art channel. My name is Chris, and for today's videos I have a first impression on this Himi watercolor palette. Now, one of my most popular videos here on YouTube is actually reviewing this other palette by Himi. I really like Himi products. I think they're very affordable and they have really good high quality. However, based on my personal opinion, I don't think they are artist grade. I think they are more like student grade and maybe for crafters as well. But like I said before, I think they're really good for the value, for the price that you pay. I think they have really good quality for that. I did a shorts where I unboxed, sorry, there's like a little thing flying here. I did a shorts video where I did an unboxing of the product. I am not happy by the way it actually came to me. It was like some of the colors were off the pans and it's kind of dirty. I didn't clean it, but I don't know if you could tell. Like there's some parts in here where it's really dirty, so I thought some of the paint actually was broken, but it was not. If I open the palette, it's the same thing. It's really dirty, as you can tell in here. So presentation wise, it wasn't the best. I paid about $10 on Amazon for 36 colors, and the pricing was actually a little bit weird because I believe there was another palette that was 24 colors and it was $20. So I don't know the price difference, to be honest. I'm guessing that maybe the one that I got is cheaper because of how it came, but I'm not sure. So in the palette, in the box, it came in this box right here. In that box you get, of course, the palette, 36 colors. You get this little paper. This is actually a block with watercolor paper. I need to look into the specifics. I don't know if it's 100% cotton or not. I'm guessing it's not because of the price. Like I said, it would be a really good deal if they actually give you 100% cotton watercolor paper. And it came with this little template that is actually pretty cool. And I actually painted one. This one because I wanted to see how the colors will react. I like to do a lot of wet and wet in my personal artwork, so I wanted to see how that would how the colors will behave. It also came with pencil with the cute little kitty design right here and with a little eraser. So for $10, like I said, it's a really good deal with all the goodies that you get. And again, I would say this, in my experience, in my opinion, they are not artist grade. So please keep that in mind. They make perfect student grade watercolor sets if you're a beginner and you're learning, or if you're a crafter and you don't really worry about light fastness, then this will be the set for you. But if you are thinking about using this palette to sell your original artwork, then I wouldn't recommend it. You're better off paying a higher price. And that way your colors are actually going to last over time. But that doesn't mean that there's not a market for this type of watercolors. Actually, I really love when I can find a watercolor that is affordable and that it has really good quality paints. I did some swatches on the little block of paper that it came with. I'm actually very happy with how the colors turn out. They're very vibrant, they're very saturated. So in that aspect, I have nothing bad to say about the quality of the paints when it comes to vibrancy and saturation. I think they're actually pretty good. And the paper wasn't that bad either. I will right now kind of swatch them on 100% cotton watercolor paper. I honestly think that if you are going to splurge on a watercolor item, it will definitely be on a watercolor paper. So I am using some Arches 100% cotton 140-pound cold press watercolor paper. This is one of the best papers in the market when it comes to professional paper. And I'm going to be using this Royal and Langnickel brush. This is a number 8. This is one of my favorite affordable brushes that you could definitely find at Michael's for a pretty good deal. Before I start with the swatches, I am going to spritz the palette with some water just to let the color sit for a little bit. So behind the box you actually get the name of the colors. However, because this palette came all messed up, I don't even know if some of the order is correct, so I am not going to base this off on that. Like I said, you could look at my shorts video to see the unboxing and to actually see how the palette came, which wasn't really good, to be honest. I was a little disappointed at that. So one of my pet peeves is when you get a white color on a watercolor palette, whether it could be a professional set or a student set, because honestly, I don't think you really need white on your palette unless you're trying to make some pastels or something like that. Let me see. Now another thing about this is because the colors came so messed up, some of the colors have a little bit of powder of another color. So for example, this yellow over here, you could tell that it's a little muddy because it has some of that of the other pigment from some of the other colors. But at first glance, they're actually pretty nice. I could definitely tell that some of the colors have white in them, just because of the opacity. Like this one, you could tell it has a little bit of white. Kind of looks like a pastel tone. But they're not bad. I really, really like them. Like, I think of some of the student sets that I have, they are actually one of the better sets when it comes to color payoff. And like I said, for the price that I paid $10 for this. This is one of my favorite colors, this peachy color over here. We have this very bright pink, excuse me, using too much water there. Really nice pink. I'm not a pink person, but that pink is really nice. Some really nice reds. That's a beautiful red. Look at that. That vibrant on your face red. That would be a nice lipstick color. This is really nice. I think color-wise you get a good selection of colors. And like I said, if you're a student or you're a crafter, having there's a good and a bad thing of having so many colors. If you have so many colors, you don't really have to worry about mixing. But at the same time, having so many colors really prevents you from learning color theory. Sometimes when you have a limited palette of maybe your 12 core colors, like warm tone and cool tones, it's a really good way for you to learn color theory. So that's the downside when you get a lot of colors. But like I said, if you're a crafter or you're a student and you are trying to figure out whether you like watercolor or not, I think this is actually a good set for you. Look at that, that's a really nice olive green. This is a nice dark green too. There's another green. Sorry, for some reason my camera shut off. But like I was saying, the sponges that you see over here is to tap off the excess water on your brush, which I think is a nice touch. I don't know if I like that feature or not, but let me mix some colors. So we're going to mix this yellow with this bright red over here. So they mix quite nicely. You get a really nice orange. Now let me do like a little wet on wet over here. Let's use this purple. Oh look, the flow comes really nice. And like I said, the it's probably helping that the paper is 100% cotton. So you could definitely see how the paints behave that way. Let me see, let's try this peach because this is more of the opaque color. You could definitely get a really nice tone. Like you could definitely see the saturation here. And when you do your washes, do wet on wet, and then let's mix two colors. Let's do this blue with this red again. So you get this muddy purple. So as you can see, on first impressions, I think this palette is actually amazing. I love the vibrancy of the colors. To be honest, I am one of those persons that love vibrant colors, really bold colors. And these are very inspiring. So I think I'm going to make another video on how making a portrait, because that's what I do, and see how these colors behave when I paint a portrait. But right now, like I said, they're very inspiring. I think they're really good, especially for, like I said, for the price that I paid. I only paid $10 for this. So I think I'm probably going to do two portraits, one on 100% cotton paper and then one using the paper that was provided in the set, and see how those behave. To be honest, I don't really have like good expectations out of the paper, but you never know. I used to be of the mindset that if you wanted to start with watercolor, you should start with professional supplies right off the bat. Because that's how I was taught when I was in college. But now that I see a lot of affordable alternatives to palettes, I think that honestly, if you're a beginner, if you're starting, you definitely will benefit from some of these cheaper palettes. Just keep in mind that they're not professional grade. As long as you know what you're buying, and as long as you have a clear idea of what you want to use these palettes for, then I think they're actually worth it. Like I said, if you want to sell your original artwork, then this palette is not for you. You're better off saving your money and spending it on professional grade watercolor paint. But if you're a beginner, if you're a crafter, you are not looking to sell your original work, you just want to learn, then this type of sets are really good for you. And you can find many sets on Amazon. But this one from Himi, I really had high expectations because their products are actually really good. And I am so happy. Based on my first impressions, I am so happy about this palette. So like I said, I'm going to do a second video where I actually do a portrait, and I do it on the paper that was provided, and I'll do it on professional grade watercolor paper. So please stay tuned. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you become part of the community that I'm trying to build here on YouTube. My other social media is going to be linked down below, as well as the link that I used when I bought this palette on Amazon. So please stay tuned for part 2 of this video, and I hope you could join me. Bye.